If you're not familiar with FlexClip, it's an online video editor that has a similar workflow to Canva, and it also has some neat little AI tools that can help you improve your content creation and make the process somewhat quicker. In my previous FlexClip video, I showed you the overview of what it is and what it does, and also some of the features. Well, today I wanted to go through the whole process of creating a video from start to finish. Last time I used a template, but today I'm going to use my own assets, my own digital content. So that's photos, audio, and videos, and show you how you can quickly create content inside this software package. So let's get into today's video. So I've got a link in the description below. You can get a discount if you should decide to use a premium package, but you can get a free package as well just to check this software out. When you first sign into your account, you're going to be greeted by the number of templates. In the previous video, I've shown you how to use these templates. Well, in this video, I'm going to start from scratch. So I'm going to hit create a video. First thing it offers is the format or ratio. I'm going to keep it as 16:9. And as I've said before, I'm a timeline editor, so I prefer to use this format, but you can use storyboard mode as well if you choose to. So I'm just going to click get started on this. And what I'm going to do is upload the media. So I'm going to add everything in this B-roll folder that I created earlier. And what you'll see is it's going to fill out all the videos for this project. It's going to upload those. So while that's uploading, I'm just going to give this a name. Something interesting to know when they finish uploading is when you mouse over these videos, they offer a preview of what the video is. And the same occurs if I were to mouse over the audio. What you see here is your preview window. You also can go full screen when you want to preview. And down here is a blank scene. Now, I can choose backgrounds and overlays and things like that to start to build out in this timeline, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add some of these videos. Now, a good method that you can use to create content is to think of your video in scenes. So if you're not someone who is familiar with this process, then this video is probably going to help you understand how you can do this. So I'm going to place all these different B-rolls in the timeline. Now, the way I can do that is I can highlight a video to replace, and I can hit the X here. And when I do that, it's going to add that video on the timeline. The other option is to drag and drop a video here to the plus sign. Now, I want to add a video from my media library, so I'm just going to go to my cloud storage here, and I'm going to choose my media folder, and I'm going to I'll go with this one, and that's going to add that video to the timeline. So each time I do that, I replace a existing scene, or I can create a new scene. And now you can see that I have all these videos in the timeline. Now, if I want to make them fit the timeline, I can just hit fit screen here, and that's going to move all those scenes so that I can see them all. I can also adjust here, zoom in and zoom out. Now, I want to add some audio. When I click on this, you can see it opens a window where I can choose these, but I've already uploaded them into the project here. Now, when I mouse over these, you're going to hear that they play. So I can preview each of these. So what I want to do to add those to the timeline is I'm just going to put them at the start of the timeline. So I'm just going to hit the X button, and you can see that's added the music bed, and I want to add my narration. And then you can see it's added the narration. Now I can drag these to different locations. So the sound bed is too long, so I'm just going to drag that all the way back. And then I can also adjust the volumes on these. So to do that, I just click on them, and I can go to this little volume icon, and I can change the level. So I'm going to change this to 20%. So that's for this bottom music bed here. And then I'm going to actually increase my volume on the voice narration to 100 to make sure that I'm heard. So it's just a case of putting the number in. You can use a slider, but I like putting a number in because then I know the exact value. Now I have a music bed and some audio to improve your content underneath this series of scenes. Now, of course, the scenes are too long. So what do I need to do there? I need to make some adjustments to all these videos. So I'll just quickly use the technology we have to fast track that process. So what I've done there is I've just adjusted all these scenes, but they're not well aligned. So what I have to do is I want to go through and make sure these align with the audio of where I have breaks in my narration. So I just highlight the video and I'm just going to roughly move these to where I would expect them to finish based on what I can see in that audio timeline there, my narration one. I'll make these adjustments as we go based on what I listen to, but you get the idea of how this works. So what you get now is this sort of alignment between transitions of video and narration in 2024. Then join me, Coach Craig Rowe, for my upcoming How to Win with Content webinar, where I'll share with you. So you can see how I'm marrying up the scenes to the audio there. So while I was editing that audio and aligning the scenes to the gaps in the audio, I noticed there was a couple of words that had a broad gap between them, and I want to bring them together. So I'm going to show you how I solve that problem inside FlexClip. So here's what I heard as I was editing. I learned some awesome strategies to scale. So there's quite a big gap between the words awesome and strategies, and I want to fix that. So what I'm going to do is highlight that audio, and I'm going to split it. So I just use the split tool over here, and now I've split that audio. So what that allows me to do is adjust the gap. So I'm just going to bring this back a little bit, and I'm just going to move this audio over a fraction. So what that's going to do is close that gap. So let's see what it comes up with. Some awesome strategies to scale your brand. So that, you can see, was a quick way to solve those larger gaps when you want to make an adjustment if you've said something with a big gap between it. So once I have my video and my music bed and my narration in a basic format that I'm happy with, now it's time to jazz it up a little bit with transitions and overlays and some other elements. So if I want to change out transitions between scenes, that's quite easy. All I have to do is click where it says transitions between two scenes, and that's going to load any number of transitions that I can try. So I'm just going to throw a couple of these in here just to keep it interesting. I'm going to throw one at the end. Might do a little bit of a dreamy effect, as if the guy's having a bit of a dream. So what you will also notice when I add a transition, it did shorten the timeline there, so I need to extend that. The other thing too is with the audio, you might want it to fade out. So to make it fade out for the music bed, I highlight the audio and I click the fade button, and then it asks me how long or how many seconds I want it to fade out. So I'm just going to say about 3 seconds here, and that's going to change this appearance of this line here slightly to show that is going to fade out at the end of the video. Now, I just want to add some elements to this as well, some branding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my overlays here, and I'm just going to choose a basic motion graphic. So in this case, I'm going to pick this one, and I just highlight the scene that I am wanting it to go on. So what I want to do is I want to ungroup this, and I want to move these elements around and delete this because I don't want it. And I also want to move it to the right here and adjust the text as well where I want it. This is a placeholder, so I want to add my logo, which is under my cloud storage. So I'm just going to go cloud storage, and I'm going to drag this here. You can see when I drag this, I can have it as a background. I can drop it on top as a layer, or I can put it inside this logo placeholder here, which I've just done. And then I want to add and change this text to Modern Media Makers. So I'm just going to do that. I can also stylize that with a drop shadow, and I can change how dark I want that shadow to be and some other features as well. And I can align this using the align tool up here. So I'm going to right align that. What I have now is a logo with some motion graphics here. I want to add that to the end scene as well. So what I can do is I can highlight these. So holding shift, I can then group them, and I can Control C to copy them. And I can go to the end scene and I can add them here as well. I'm going to ungroup them, and I'm going to select each, and I'm just going to say remove animation. And that's going to stop them from doing anything when they come into effect at the end of the video. Now I can also choose when they come into play. So when I highlight them, you can see on the timeline that this is the element's appearance here, and I can show where I want it to start and finish. I can also do that with this text as well. I can move it along until I find where I want it to start and finish. Now, if I double click on this, you're going to see all these elements and that scene, and I can make those adjustments independent of each other. Now, I also want to add my image here underneath this logo. So to do that, I'm just going to pick my image here, and I'm actually going to drag and drop it on top. I'm just going to resize this, and I'm going to place it at the end of this video, and I want it to appear around the same time as the Modern Media Makers comes into effect. Now I have that element as well appearing at the end. So I want to add a couple of call to actions as well. So I'm going to pick something that's encouraging people to sign up. So I'm just going to choose an RSVP here. Sign up today and be ready to learn some awesome strategies to scale your brand. And please sign up fast as spots are limited. Also want to add a register or booking call to action. So I'm just going to pick one and I'm going to pop that in here as well. So I want it to come in around where I say to book now. Are limited and registrations do close soon. So go on, register now. So where it says go on, register now, I want that to come in around there.
So the thing with this is it's really easy to just connect all the audio and the video. And now I'm going to add some text, and then we can look at how we export this video to make it a usable video. There is a tool to create these subtitles, which is actually here. And what I do is I use the Auto AI subtitle feature. You can choose which mixdown you actually want. So in this case, I'm just going to go both scene and audio, and I'm just going to choose that option. And then it asks me the style of my subtitle. So I'm just going to go with this one because I want it to stand out. So I'm just going to hit generate. And what it's going to do is it's going to listen to the audio and it's going to automatically generate those subtitles. I'm just going to hit export. And when I choose to export this, you can see I can export it as a video at 1080p on this plan. So I'm just going to hit export. And now it's going to go through the process of exporting the video. So when you finished exporting the video and it's successful, you can see this reference here to whitelist on YouTube. If your video contains stock music, it says, please click here and submit your channel ID so that they can remove any copyright claims automatically. You can also share it immediately to your social medias if you want to actually link those.
I want to say, if this is your first time experiencing Modern Media Makers and you want to subscribe and become part of my community, then please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, which is really important because it advises you when new content gets uploaded. And hopefully we'll catch up again in a future video, but until that time, take care and I will catch you later. Are you looking to improve your content marketing strategy in 2024? Then join me, Coach Craig Rowe, for my upcoming How to Win with Content webinar, where I'll share with you my 4-pillar content marketing strategy, and I'll show you how to create content that works for you 24/7 like a digital employee. And I'll also discuss the best platforms that you should focus on in 2024. And at the end of my presentation, I'll be open to any questions that you may have. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today and be ready to learn some awesome strategies to scale your brand. And please sign up fast as spots are limited and registrations do close soon. So go on, register now, and I look forward to seeing you there.